Episode 2 of my Stationeers Creative Survival Vulcan playthrough, where I'm pretty much cheating, but the main purpose is to not have to go out mining or print stuff the whole time. I just want to play with the simulation and maybe engineer things and build things. Currently, for example, we have power. But during the night I will use more power than I have stored in this battery, so I need more batteries. Next step, therefore, is to expand the resources. What? What just happened? Oh, close all. There's a thing here. I didn't even know there was a button here for that. Oh, my life support is kinda empty. Why did no one tell me?
Hunger, caution.
And that too. Also, the idea here is to possibly build a little bit outside the box, particularly the glass box, that for whatever reason I tend to fall back to, and English is not my first language, every time.
Waste tank, caution.
Uh-oh, here we go again. In episode 1 I explained at length at the very beginning how you can mod your own difficulties, and that's what I did here. This is basically Stationeer difficulty, but with the creative flag activated, and also it is made harder, so that more oxygen will be used up. You can see that already we are 3.5 megapascals already, even though the warning that it's soon gonna be dangerous was only a few seconds ago, so it's really rapid. Man. And I'm flying so slowly because I still have the old suit. Maybe I should swap that out, huh? But I don't want to cheat too much.
Air tank critical.
Mm-hmm. That's a problem. Would the yellow please cycle completely? Thank you.
Oxygen critical. Low pressure.
2 megapascals only, yeah. But that's the real problem. Maybe I should have started with different starting conditions. I mean, should have brought some oxygen and so forth. And I didn't. Was completely unprepared as per usual, because I'm a lazy motherfucker. But this first such experience will probably give me some ideas as to how that should be handled in the future, or what I should test before I actually go into such a playthrough in the future. Yep, again. I don't have any oxygen source so far. Other than, of course, wait, what am I saying? I have the room. I have the room. Well, how is the room an oxygen source? Well, apparently you didn't watch episode 1 or forgot about it, because, you know, who can remember really all the things? I made this oxygen refiller here. This canister refiller, and all I have to do is plug my canister in. First I have to wait until the room temperature is fine, which it now is. We are at 30 degrees, that's fine. So let's plug this in.
Air tank critical.
And then it will be filled automatically to 9 megapascals.
Oxygen critical.
And the reason that this is happening
Low pressure.
so slowly, despite the elaborate setup, is that I haven't yet dared pumping the required amount of pressure into this thing, because the room pressure is still so low. But every time I increase the room pressure by just pumping in here from the outside through this filtration thing, which removes everything from the atmosphere except for, well, let's see, what is the outside atmosphere like? Wait, this is my, I'm wrong, this is my, I'm just pumping CO2 from the outside into this atmosphere. And that heats it up, of course. So I need to place a gas sensor, and I want to automate this. That's one of the first things I want to do. But, I mean, the day is late. Oh, by the way, the day-night time is also different. We have almost 5 times the day-night duration than we normally have. I would normally have opted for an even longer duration, but, well, I'm mixing things up, and I didn't really prepare for this. The original timescale was 0.00248 something, and so I changed this to, oh, you can actually see this here. We were at this. So 2 zeros and then a 25, quasi. And so I went for 3 zeros and a 5, which is almost 1/5 of that. Could also have divided that by 10 and elaborately then paste that from the clipboard or something. But, you know, sometimes, I mean, oh look, a bird. Okay. More oxygen, please.
Airtight critical.
Yes, and this is one of the high volume gas canisters that you can't even make in survival. So I just spawned them in, like all the other crap also. There are no printers yet in this playthrough.
Pressure critical.
Lame, huh? It was fun to do.
Cognition low.
I mean, I do feel the pressure of doing things right still. Obviously. So let's copy the wall. And make a little box here. Of ridiculous shape and purpose. Because this entire corridor that I'm making here will just be station batteries. I don't have any better idea yet. I mean, there's certainly good, cool things that I could do with such a playthrough, but I would have to plan for that and prepare for that, and this is me making the plan. This is me making the preparations for future such things in the most practical, most efficient way possible by going through it. And then, of course, in the downtime thinking about it a bit. Which admittedly I haven't done much yet. During the day it's really, really fucking hot here. And I'm wearing the thin spacesuit. Which has a much stronger thermal energy exchange with the planetary environment. Yeah, I shouldn't open that wall just now. Oh, it's still... Oh. So more of my oxygen will actually be used to cool myself down. But that also means that I can unleash that into my station, where it will be absorbed by the station's atmosphere and heated up. But the room has a cooling system, so it will cool down, and then I can pump that oxygen back from the room. Yeah, that is then, I think, proper stationeering at that point. Also, in a scenario, in a situation that I haven't had yet. New shit, baby.
Waste tank caution.
Okay, now I have to pump that empty. And I have to verify whether it is empty. Oh, I thought this would be remembered, but of course it wasn't. Powered vent.
Air tank low.
Uh-oh, that's a problem.
Waste tank critical.
So despite everything, it's still kind of a survival experience. On the other hand, if I would be really fucked, I would just, you know, spawn some stuff in.
Air tank critical.
Which does make it lame again, what can I say?
Oxygen critical. Low pressure. Air tank critical. Oxygen critical. Low pressure. Pressure critical. Cognition low.
How many watts is this burning through? 4,000. And I believe the large port vents also need 500. Right? 500 watts. Yeah, it's only for a few moments, so let's use this then. No, not that. This instead. Press F to copy, and that cannot be reconfigured, so yeah, it's just F every time. Oh, the passive vent's in the way. That's a problem. But I can kind of solve that. The fuck? What is happening to my program thingy here? Why is it changing direction the whole time? That doesn't make sense. What is happening? Why would that pump back and forth? I must have made a programming error. Okay, that's pretty much... that throws a wrench in the experience. I don't want that. Okay, let's see. Load badge name evacuation switch. That one's irrelevant. It is switched off. We thought it was on the ground. A very nice, gloomy, doomy, dark landscape soundtrack in the background earlier, but that is gone. Okay. Load from the chip is in the filtration unit. So load from pressure input, load the pressure input from the device. If the pressure input is greater than 20,000, pressure input too high. Alright, if the pressure is less than 15,000, pressure input too low. Okay, I guess it's an overshooting problem. But let's solve this then by just doing this. What's happening? Oh. Okay. Of course it changed at the drop-down selection. I can fix this world.xml because the source code is in the save game. Vulcan, brutal creative. There we go. That's the source code that I have in there. But I don't need this one, I need the other one. What did I even control with that source code? Solar panels, right? So that would be vertical. And here we go. That's that source code, which is very short actually. Edit, paste, export, O2 station, import, and then fix that same thing. And I hope that will solve the overshooting problem. Which, yeah. Okay, that solved it. But while I'm at it, let's save that as episode 2. I didn't even think of that. Alrighty. That needs to be evacuated. I don't think I need the logic, but who cares? No! I was almost about to press undo. I will just leave this on here, but it's probably I have to rebuild this anyway. Now I need a insulated passive vent like this here on the outside and turn the thing on. And I also need one here to be able to gauge what the pressure is there. And let's do it realistically. The pipe has to go through the wall so I can measure from this side. Man, I should really reassign that fucking key. Setting. Controls. Grab. Let's put that on B? B is already used? For what? Instant stop, I don't need these, that's, you know. Or can I just delete that? I want to keep that in the game. So let's do that thing then. That should suck the room dry. If I have closed it, actually. Wait. My verification of whether the room is empty doesn't work. Because that verification takes place in the wrong place. Yeah, let's be ridiculous about this. This is one of those moments where I do miss some kind of zoop command, where you say A is here, B is over there, fill everything in between. Why is there even a progress bar for the copy command? I don't get it. It's unnecessary, cumbersome. But sometimes there's no progress bar for the delete command. The pressure is constant? Maybe...
Waste tank caution.
Maybe I left it open somewhere? Why is the pressure constant? That doesn't make sense. And 136 kilopascals is way too high. I must have made a mistake. Crap.
Air tank critical. Oxygen critical. Low pressure. Air tank critical. Oxygen critical. Low pressure.
This is just sad. Really? What the fuck? I have to decipher this later. Why is the pressure not decreasing? So this is pumping into that pipe here. Ah, of course, I forgot a fucking pipe. Then it cannot work. Hmm. Aha, so there's still some pressure in there, but it's very, very low. Huh, now I have to turn this thing off, which I can do by uncabling it, and then I break open the wall, which will lower the room pressure even further. 11 kilopascals will drop down to like 10 even. Well, that's...
Hunger critical.
Let's say 8 then, I guess, huh? Yeah, I guess we're done. Of course, the golden test is to just turn this off and measure again. Then we can see whether it's possibly open somewhere. Nope, it's closed. So, what do we guess? Let's say 7 kilopascals remaining. And let's add a battery. Oh, first the cables for the batteries. I think the cable would have to be here, but I'm not sure. 1, 2, 3, 1. Let's see if that's the case. Apparently so. So it's a waltz, just like with the wind turbines. Except this needs to be turned a different way. is being charged. Okay. 1, 2... Huh? What am I saying? It's not a waltz, it's 1, 2, 1, 2. Plain and simple. Had to happen. Had to happen again. That had to happen too, I guess. Ah, fuck my life. I have to turn on the scrubber again. I find the soundtrack fitting for Vulcan, even though it might be annoying for video watching, I don't know. But I mean, kind of fits the mood. No, not what I meant. So let's see if the cable is complete. It is. Yeah, Happy New Year. We already had two terrorist attacks in the United States. Maybe only one. In New Orleans, someone used a car with an ISIS flag attached to, well, to run over people. That happened indeed yesterday. Fun. And in front of the in front of a Trump Tower, a vehicle exploded, but to me it's unclear what really happened there, because it seems like it was just a bunch of fireworks. I mean, you can see, for example, in the footage that was recorded by a security camera, you see several frames of the explosion unfolding from the vehicle. And that's completely uncommon. I have seen recordings of, for example, a suicide bomber in a mosque, and all you see is people, and the next frame is everything's white. There's because the explosion is happening at a speed that is unfathomably fast, and so I think that the explosion of that car there in front of a Trump Tower must have been something less radical. And well, Elon Musk said, well, what some imbeciles, what idiots, knuckleheads, that's the term that he used. The car, actually, because it was a Tesla car, it was the Cybertruck. Car contained most of the explosion and sent it upwards. Even the windows in front of the Trump Tower were not damaged by the event. Oh, that's funny.
Airtime critical. Oxygen critical.
I could just make a second canister, right? A smart one even. That would be smart. This is one of those moments where I just spawn something in. Because I haven't yet thought up some kind of entertaining rule for that, so... It's just ridiculous. What's happening here? What's happening? Right, okay, these two are not connected, the bottom and this one. This one just supplies the pressure for this guy. And maybe this pipe should have been a bit longer, I guess. What's the pressure in here? Can we see that somehow? Aha. I get the feeling that my changes here with the megapascals had nothing to do with that. Input pipe. SVN, vent O2 stat. O2 station. O2 station vent. And which one is this? This one. Oh, so that does make sense. So pressure input too low. Let's go for 20,000. And now I need to feast.
Low pressure. Oxygen critical. Hunger caution. Cognition low.
Yeah, I guess my lungs were already damaged, or are still damaged from the thing that I did at the very beginning. At the beginning of this playthrough, I actually opened my helmet out there to demonstrate how harsh the settings are, because I increased the lung damage ratio from 4, I believe it is normally, to 10. All that is shown at the beginning of the previous video. Okay, how full is this guy? It is being filled very, very slowly. Because the target pressure in here, this is supposed to be a buffer that makes everything super turbo fast. That's why we also have this thing up here. Whenever there's no canister in there, and there's still pressure in this little pipe end piece here, this thing will empty out everything that's in here. Because in case I swap in a canister that is already full and is even of the weaker kind, then that would be very risky, and so I just want to reduce the risk by never having any pressure in here. What I have not yet done, I realize, is that this should also be active if the pressure in here is higher than intended, because that I haven't done yet. But no, let's first see to that we get some pressure in here. 9 kilopascals still. Okay, this corridor took less than I thought it would. Solar panels are still pointing at the sun. Well, I guess you have a problem here. I've devised a crappy solution because I was in a pickle. Because again, I didn't prepare for this. I will instant discharge this battery into the station batteries, but that explodes the cable. And so after some hunting, I fixed this and then used the fuse. It's still at 100%. Okay, I rather expected this to discharge fully and then the cable to blow, not the other way around. That's a new one. I wonder if that's intentional. I mean, is this a race condition? Sometimes like this, sometimes like that? Or is it a matter of if you are willing to burn your cables, then you will have the benefit, but if not, well, then you're shit out of luck. Then nothing will happen. The fuse will burn first. Let's find out. By adding one more data point, which is insufficient, I know. 100 kilowatts. And while we're at it, this time it was discharged, so it was a race condition. Race condition is what we call that in programming when events of mutual relevance are taking place in a disorderly fashion. Like this here, for example. The calculation of the wire, of the fuse and so forth. Now, of course, this is not a bug race condition. Normally a race condition, when we call that in programming, that is, then we're in a... Normally we say that when we're in a situation where that shouldn't happen. But you can also use it as a general term for the concept. Save. Because if this happens, I will just reload. And that's a multi-threading thing, you know? You don't have race conditions in computing if you're not working with multiple threads. Now you might say, what about programs interacting with the disk drive and such? That's effectively multiple threads, because one thread is using the disk drive. But okay, there's indeed some situations where you could have a race condition that's not related to threads, because there's devices that are not purely digital. Or maybe some transmission over the internet. And a thread, that's just basically one computer thinking, and another thread, you put another computer next to it and let it think too. So you have double the performance, basically. Only this is implemented these days in one computer, one chip. And before we had that, we of course also had multitasking. But that was only via time slicing. Now we indeed have multiple activities simultaneously, which makes it much more efficient. And that's why they developed this game from the get-go, from the start, with multi-threading in mind. And that's why it is so very performant, despite all the simulation going on. Rocketworks is an awesome, unbelievably awesome team. Yeah, I should cable up the thingies up there. Problem is I also need some what's its face? Some jetpack fuel, which I currently don't have. I don't want to use oxygen for that, and this here is the setup for oxygen. Okay, so this is purifying the air. How far? Oh, I have 9 fuses still. Okay. Don't mind if I do. The air is still polluted. Not surprising. I mean, there's one location here where that is being purified. Actually, why is that not decreased here? The filters are still somewhat good. I guess the mistake is that the outlet is in the very same grid, so it will suck in the very air that it has just purified. Stupid! Well, this takes out the tedium, this kind of playthrough, and makes that purely into engineering and simulation and so forth.
Air tank low.
This should now have much more effect. Yeah, definitely cleaner air coming out here. I've looked at the volatiles percentage. Different, and here where the outlet is, it's much less. And what's in this pipe now? Oh, still pure stuff? How did that happen? I don't get that. Why is the gas in this pipe pure? That doesn't make sense. Or maybe it's a measurement issue. I mean, maybe depending on what I measure where, the ratios might be too low for the tablet to show, but I don't get that, man. It should be purified. Should be purifying. Let's see if the percentage decreases. Volatiles. Yep, it is decreasing, so that is actually happening. Pretty annoying, right? That these filters decrease in percentage as soon as even the faintest molecule of their respective gas is being pumped through them, right? If as far as I understand, gas pumped through them or them being used on gases that don't have anything for which they're responsible will not decrease them. But as soon as there's the faintest bit, down you go at a constant speed. Could use some more lights in here, huh? But first I want to increase the pressure of the room by automatism. So we need a gas sensor. Where will I put this?
Air tank critical.
That's better. Doesn't change the fact I have to produce oxygen. That's what this over there is responsible for. There will be CO2 in there, which I will pump from this room, which has the cooling system. And that's my current basic setup. Pretty ridiculous if you think about it. Like this entire channel, basically. Hey, what's happening? Oh, right. I forgot something quite significant. Connecting the batteries. Connected in this way, of course, that makes it impossible for me to check the logic of the battery. Oh, that still doesn't solve it. I can move the cable away, but I can't get to the cable then. Ah. Anyway, what's definitely necessary... That was actually correct. Is this? No, not that. Possible to know how full the station batteries are at this point, huh? Well, for that we'll need logic. Fuck. Second day of the new year. And it does feel new, doesn't it? This emotion of everything starting over? Or everything being anew somehow, being new. Of course, if you reflect upon it and you realize that it's not actually new, of course. It's just the next day, still just flowing through reality. The Earth is still just orbiting the sun and so forth, just like with birthdays. If you look at it like that, then you would probably squash the feeling. But I believe, but I myself even, who knows, of course, that this is nothing's really new. I do feel the novelty. So what does this mean? Well, I'm pretty sure. I would say I would even go so far as to call it sure, yeah, that somehow the mechanics of consciousness are not entirely separate. I'm not talking mind-to-mind transfer, but I'm saying that I mean, I believe that, for example, if a Muslim or a Christian who has a near-death experience, you know, when the brain is basically in a suffocation situation, but then recovers, where you're basically being retreated into the furthest crevices of your brain, where everything shuts down and you're aware of nothing. Some people have visions then of, for example, Jesus or some other crap like that, you know? But not necessarily of their religion. That doesn't really solve the problem, does it? I mean, what will I do with the fucking logic? This guy is not accessible. This is stupid. How can I get to this thing? If here, let's say I expand this higher and higher. Yeah, and there's a reminder here that I need to get rid of. I want to measure how full the batteries are. For that I need a logic connection. I cannot make this here. Oh, but of course I can just... yeah, that's the answer. doing it wrong. So I'm saying that the reason that I get the feeling that things are new, you might say it's just psychological, la la la, but I'm way past that kind of shit. I mean, I believe that it's indeed some kind of, well, I mean, everybody believes that things are new somehow, or maybe it's just a collective energy, that's something, it's a collective will, collective conviction, not everybody, quotation marks. And maybe that kind of arrives. Maybe religion, for example, is also more of a collective effect than we might assume. Which would then make that a collective will. And this will is of course addicting, because energy is addicting. Everybody who has eaten a bit more than they should knows what I'm talking about. Because you're adding energy to your system. And that makes you happy. Yes, isn't that the concept of happiness? More. Being more. Energy. More energy. Okay, that should work. So this is that network and that is this network. I need to connect that now. How though? That should have worked. So, how full are these guys? God damn it. Nothing bad happened, but I should be in control of what I'm doing, man. First, see if everything is cabled up correctly and if the logic would work. Oh, this one's not. Oh, okay. Good thing I checked. Oh well. This is stupid. I should never build things so tightly, but I always do. Even in creative mode, you wouldn't believe it. Though it's not fully creative, it's creative survival, so give me that. How pure is the air? Well, looking good. Very cool that the simulation reaches this far. I mean, it could have been that there's just some stale air back here, period. But no, everything is being mixed and moved, and it's great. The atmospheric simulation is just stellar. Right, let's turn this off then. But the pressure is still low, so we need a gas sensor. And where do we put this gas sensor? Heat rises, right? No, I'm kidding. That's not indeed how this works here. Oh, the sun will be coming up soon, I guess. Should cable up more of these guys to punch the batteries in the nuts. But first, let's see how full the batteries are then. Load batch into R0. From any and all large batteries, the ratio average. Since they're all of the same type, the statement will be meaningful. If you would be mixing small batteries and large batteries, we would I think we would indeed have to add up all the potential that every last battery has, or maybe not, of the battery types, and multiply by the amount of batteries, you know what I mean, and then divide accordingly. I think we could not even take the ratio of one battery type and the ratio of the other battery type, and then take the average of that, because what if the ratio of one is 0 and the ratio of the other is 1, but the one that is at 0 is only like one small station battery? How do you get 50% of the overall statement then? That doesn't make sense. So you would indeed have to add up the potential of all the batteries. But that's not the problem here. So SBN to this thing, that it is on, and also what value it shall show. And now we know how full our station battery reserves are. Very much empty, understandably. More importantly, I don't know if I can see this. Are they being emptied? I mean, of course they're being emptied, what am I saying? And I think I can see this. Maybe you can't, even though it's a 4K recording, but maybe it cannot be transported, or you're not patient enough, that's fine. They are being emptied very slightly. Gas sensor... yeah. How do I get gas for my... Why is this thing still pumping? How do I get gas for my jetpack? 13 megapascals, and it's all it can muster. Because the room pressure is indeed so very low. Good thing the chip is in here, huh? Okay, I guess the gas sensor thing has priority. I need atmosphere in here. Also, it's a very slow process, so it should be the first process that begins. Gas sensor, where do I put it? The ceiling is occupied with all that crap. So... then the walls, I guess. But there would also have to be lights. So let's do that then. Let there be lights. Okay, let's change the channel. The gas sensor? One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's in the middle. Oh, okay.
Power low.
Well, another row of solar panels would surely be good. And it's night, I can do the cabling from the outside. Good idea. Because now it's cold enough, I won't blow through my reserves so quickly. It's only roughly about the boiling point of above the boiling point of water, which is still fucking hot. Okay. Have to inspect those cables later from the inside. I wish there was mouse smoothing in this game. When will they finally put that in? I really don't understand the prioritization of Rocketworks. Everybody who makes a video of this thing is effectively advertising the game a bit, at least. Why will they not help the advertisement process? By making the videos less annoying. Wouldn't help in your case. Yeah, I'm just speaking generally, you know. Wait, that's not necessarily the wrong direction. Only here it would be wrong. No! Just built a cable somewhere in the wall. Crap. Ah. Sun is already coming up. Theoretically, all solar panels are now in action. During the middle of the day we can test this. Certainly we should have more energy. That was less painful than I hoped. No, anticipated. Let's inspect. Looking good. Always good to do the factory approach, instead of changing what you're doing in the middle of things. Do the same thing, the same thing, the same thing again and again and again. Delve into the fractal of the moment, of the activity. Zoom into the Mandelbrot set deeper and deeper. Immerse yourself. I remember my first days working in the factory. I had nightmares after that. But of the repetitive tasks, but that is actually a process of growth. That didn't happen again afterwards, and then the next year when I did that again, you know, to earn some money during the summertime, some extra money, I think I had that again, but then afterwards I never had that again, so that's certainly something the brain then got used to. And also it is, well, how do I put this in words? To say it's simply, let's just say you have to become aware of the moment on a scale that is deeper than you ever did before in your life, particularly with that work, which would have cut off my fingers if I wouldn't have been careful. That was, yeah, I was too productive. They told me I had to work more slowly. And I'm not kidding. They told me that every year when I was there. Because, I mean, the more you do, the more money you get there. But it's a collective thing. So it's not one guy working more, everybody gets more money, or they themselves get more money. But we were all like set for 140% productivity, which was the default. But if one then would work much faster, then the outcome might be that eventually things get reevaluated and so forth. And then they told me, don't work that fast, man. So it's not like they were lazy. I'm not saying that at all. No. I'm just saying that, what am I saying? That despite my fingers being indeed at peril, because one of the things I had to do was, for example, operate a machine that was drilling some bolts into some metal piece that I was holding in my hands, or holding down with my hands, and I had to place those bolts before they were being drilled down, then remove the piece, put the next piece in there, put the bolts in there, then press the button again that lowers the machine and does the drilling. If I would have done that wrong, I would have lost some fingers. And then you do that like 100 times, 1,000 times in a day for a month. Well, but that's the thing, you know, if you sink with your mind deeper into the moment, you have to be... I mean, this affects your mental structures. But it's certainly ability everybody should learn. I'm not saying you should go into the factory. I mean, every normal activity can yield that also. But doing things systematically allows you to go more deeply into the thing that you're doing. Here, I'm just, okay, doing the thing, and then, okay, that is wired up correctly. And then when I go to the next thing, this is also wired up correctly. But then I have the pattern of the previous in my head. And here, I am so far already, I'm now in the flow of this. It's no longer the changeover from here to here. This, as an after image in my head, I'm now fully into this. And then I can get deeper into this, and then I might observe some detail. And at this point, my mind might actually be even detached because it's automated enough that I can see other topics in parallel, hopefully related to this, because this might then mean that you've come up with better ways to do the task. Oh, there's this superfluous thing. How much power is coming in? Where can I see this? Here. Currently 7,000-ish watts, certainly more than before, and this should now go up, of course, because we're consuming currently 2,000. Okay, now that this is done, let's make sure that we get some automatic gas filling in here. So this would have to be turned on. For once I will not change my naming scheme. And let's see what... O2 station vent. That would be... It might be used for other things later also, but I think the name will make sense in all contexts. I mean, I will easily know what that is. Oh. What's happening? What am I doing? Another IC-10 then? Here we go. As long as the room temperature doesn't exceed 30 degrees, which is lenient because it might already be at 50 degrees in parts, I will keep this running. So this needs to be on, but it needs to be in mode 0, I believe. Filtration mode 0, meaning that this thing will be inactive. Yep, idle, active, but it needs to be on as the chip won't run, obviously. Spooky. I wonder if we'll ever settle or at least land on a planet or celestial body as a human, not just with a robot or something, that is orbiting a black hole. I mean, we have an infinite future ahead, so that might well happen. But of course the radiation down here would be pretty hard, because I don't think that a planetary magnetic shield or the natural shielding, or we have a huge iron core in Earth, and it's rotating, and this dynamo effect produces an electromagnetic field, magnetic field. Well, is it electromagnetic? Well, it's a magnetic field that shields us from the hard radiation that we're getting from the sun. But I mean, the hard radiation coming from that dude over there should be pretty much worse, I think. Because the energetic events there are of much higher level, is my understanding, than in the sun. So there would be more gamma rays. And gamma rays are bad shit. Bad news. And this is supposedly a supermassive black hole over there. So it would be very, very big. So I don't understand how this planet here has supposedly been cracked by that black hole. Because, see, there are tidal forces. We can easily understand those. Let's imagine you're at the center of a black hole, where there's hypothetically a singularity. Because around you wouldn't be just, I don't know, blackness or whatever, but the reason that there's this black ball there is that a game design, is that, of course, I mean, everybody knows this, is that light cannot escape from a black hole when it's close enough, because then it can only fall in. This means that at some radius, light will actually orbit the black hole evenly, form a circle. That's the photon sphere. I mean, it's three-dimensional, so it's a sphere, of course. And for a non-rotating black hole, that's 1.5 times the radius of the event horizon. 1.5 times. And see, radius 1 would be the black hole, radius 1.5 would be where the photon sphere is. Anyway, so even inside the black hole you would still see space, or you would see it as some kind of well above you, like everything is focused in one point. You can imagine how that comes to pass if you teleport yourself mentally closer and closer to the photon sphere and then beyond. I mean, eventually only light that would point away from the black hole perpendicularly would still be able to escape the black hole. And so in this way the light rays are shaped, and so basically once you're very close to the black hole's event horizon, you will only see light coming from above, because any light that would come from the horizontal direction would already have fallen in, would already have curved down. You can only see it coming from above. So you would see the entirety of space that is around the black hole, the entirety of the universe basically, focused on one point above you. And that would be more and more focused indeed in one point, like falling into a well. It's weird how this suddenly becomes two-dimensional, apparently, right? Until it becomes like zero-dimensional, because a point doesn't have dimensions, but we don't know what's really at the core of a black hole, or how that really works. My personal hypothesis is that black holes are potentially just holographic, meaning that space-time ends at the event horizon. That whatever's inside, well, there's nothing inside. It's just no space-time. This is my hypothesis, but I don't know. Anyway, so let's assume that there would be a point of infinite density that has all the mass. If you would be at that point, if it would be, for example, in your head, then the left part of your head would be pulled towards the right, yet the right part of your head would be pulled towards the left, and your feet would be pulled upwards. See, so that's pretty strong tidal forces. Now, if you're a bit further away from that, you can imagine that you would still be pulled not just towards that point, but also your body would be pulled towards that point in different ways. Your feet a bit upwards, your head a bit downwards, and the further away you are from that, the more parallel-ish the lines are. But that's what we call the tidal... Well, that's one aspect of the tidal forces, this directional problem. And the other is the strength of gravity, because let's say the black hole would be you would be standing on the singularity with your feet. Then the gravitation that your feet experience would be much stronger than the gravitation that your knees experience or the rest of you. So you would effectively be elongated. I don't know how much of an effect that would have, but I mean, we're talking acceleration. I mean, we're standing on Earth right now, and what we're doing is we are accelerating downwards. That is how that works. Whyever that is, that's gravity, but we are accelerating downwards, and the floor is stopping us. We're basically leaning on the wall, or, you know, that's why that is. And so the black holes would pull you towards itself, and if it's pulling your legs, then the rest of your body will also be pulled, of course, because it's attached. But your entire body is pulled together when you're on Earth. In the black hole, your different body parts would be pulled at different strengths. I don't know how strong that we really would be. I mean, in my opinion, the main problem is the different vectors, different directions, but I don't know, I'm not an expert. So the more massive a black hole is, the weaker the tidal forces, directional and also different distance, gravity strength, are near the event horizon. A really supermassive black hole would have so weak tidal forces that you could fall through the event horizon without even noticing. And this means that a supermassive black hole orbited by a planet shouldn't crack the planet apart. What of course could have happened is that the planet wasn't always at this distance. Maybe it was kind of slingshotted into this orbit and was closer to the black hole at some point. Who knows? Though, wouldn't that be staying on a pretty extreme oval orbit then for all time? I don't know. Okay, but it's a bit questionable, this description that they give for this world. Maybe they shouldn't have gone with supermassive, because I get the feeling that they wrote supermassive just because it makes the dick feel bigger, you know, it's feels more impressive and so forth. What if there would just not be a supermassive black hole but a small one, which would then explain the stronger tidal forces outside the event horizon and therefore the cracked planet? So much for that. Yeah, we're still not getting any gas in here. How about the power? 16,000 watts. How many solar panels are in play? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 1 times 2 times 3 times 4. 4 times 8 is 48. Divided by 2 is 24. And we're getting 15. That doesn't seem sufficient. Did I miscalculate, or is there still shadow being cast upon them? Are some of them not 100%? What's happening? Or did I miscalculate? I mean, it's 8 of these times 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 2. Oh, right. 4 times 4 times 8 is 32. Of course, 8 and 8 is 16, and then 32. So 16. And I think 16 is what we're getting. Okay. 16,000 watts. And that's indeed charging the batteries. Slowly. But I think we will keep breathing higher and higher. Shut up, Google. I wasn't talking to you. God damn it. This thing reacts when it shouldn't, and it doesn't react when it should. I hate Google Home. It's just stupid. I don't know how good Amazon Alexa is, but next time I would get one, I would even take the fact that you can only use that in Germany, because in Germany we always have to speak German. I switch my video on Amazon to English, and next time I return on the fucking page, it will be switched back to German. Why? Because I'm a German citizen and therefore you have to tell me what to do, how to wipe my ass and when, which injection to take at which point, what words to speak at which point. Why can we not fucking learn to be adults in Germany? That is what led to Hitler Germany. That we have these children here instead of adults. God damn it, give us free speech already. Stupid country. This is country spelled with a space after cunt. So, we have the gas sensor here, and I have to program this filtration unit. How though? Let's first copy the name of the thing. Copy.
Hunger caution.
Fill room filtration. Could have just said import also, but it's nice that we have a delete button, a clear button. Define hash. I don't want to lose the clipboard, that's why I do this in this way. Define. Also, this is once again this factory approach. First do the systematic stuff and add layers and layers until you're done. Structure. I'm not saying that's the one way to work, but it helps get the job done. Also, then you're working yourself closer and closer to finishing, and it's tedious, right? Work is often tedious, but then you're getting used to the tedium and you're accepting that it's tedious, and then you're arriving at the last layer, and then all of a sudden, bang, bang, bang. Everything is happening fast. Structure gas sensor. Censorship! Sense gas fill room. Get in the chopper. So, start yield. Load batch named into R0 from the gas sensor the temperature and turn that into Celsius 273.15. Let's see. Branch. If R0 is less than 30, fill room full, fill room done. And in the case of fill the room, I have to do another thing. I have to find out what the pressure is, because I don't want everything to explode at some point when I'm no longer thinking about this, about everything. Pressure. Alright, so load the temperature, turn it into Celsius, and if the temperature is less than 30, fill the room. In principle, what we want to do is write to the housing mode 1, because I want to turn this thing to mode 1. I want to turn it on. If the room is actually no longer less than, then I want to definitely turn that off. Then I want to load into R0 from dB the pressure input, and if the pressure input is greater than 0, then I want a 1 in here. Now we have to go to the vent. When will they fix this stupid editor bug? probably 15 minutes of work, and probably related to the fact that they're using two new line characters instead of one. See, there's two new line characters in computing. Carriage return and line feed. I mean, originally this whole thing started with mechanical machines, typewriters, electric typewriters. My father actually had one of these. They are as big as a piano, and they can write and also read punch hole stripes. I don't know what the actual term is for those. Let's say you have tape. And there's 5 holes. In this case, it was 5 holes next to each other. But not everywhere, not all the time there will be holes. You know, and that's the code. Then expresses the character. For example, space character or whatever.
Waste tank caution.
And this is then shoved through the machine in a stepper motor kind of thing, which is very loud. Bum, 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 bum. And that is how you can then play with that back. And people would then often go and make ASCII out of girls, you know, and then, hey, I have a new tape here, and then you would run that through, and you would have the printout of the girl in ASCII art. The only only human to really worth to portray like that, right? Wait, what am I saying? So, and that thing would write, and then its writing head would have to return to the beginning, and then it would also have to move downwards, and it was controlled by carriage return. So the carriage returns back to the beginning and new line. And on Windows you have the carriage return character, and then we have the line feed character. Let me just verify that. I'm pretty sure that's, 99% sure that this is actually the Windows new line. Yeah, CRLF. So first carriage return and then line feed. The old Apple Macintosh, before they switched over to this Debian, I think, based... Okay, so some kind of... what was that? BSD, right. I think it is BSD based. Linux-ish operating system. Or is it Linux? I don't know that well enough. Before that, and I had to administrate our graphics department for a few years. It was a horror. Goddamn, I hate Apple. You install the machine and you install 3 programs from Adobe, for example, and then sometimes the machine would afterwards no longer work. The Apple menu would no longer work and stuff like that, even though I've done nothing. No special reconfiguration, no special nothing. Just randomly. And then you ask support and we don't know whether what's going to be fixed in the next 3. It was never fixed. But eventually they had a new operating system. Anyway, so that had a line feed and carriage return. So they would first do this to go to the next line, and then delete all the or then move the carriage return, the carriage back to the beginning. Like, of course, in a computer that doesn't matter at all. You just need a new line character, and that's it. And that's why Linux said, okay, we're just gonna have the LF, the line feed. Just want to go down, and whatever we do with that is our choice, which is normally you start at the beginning of the text editor, you know. But we have this baggage still on Windows, and for the longest time its Notepad editor was also unable to edit Linux-style texts. What you could do is you could start WordPad, which also comes with Windows, and then you drag your text file like on the header of that, or you could also open it explicitly, of course, and then you would have a Linux file visible in a proper way instead of every line bunched, all the lines shoved together into one line, because the editor was too stupid to interpret the line feed. But anyway, in Stationeers, the files, they are using the Windows style, so we have the carriage return, and then we have the line feed, CRLF, and that means we have 2 characters. And when I go here and delete the last character with the not the backspace key, but the delete key above the arrow keys, then it will not just delete the character, but the next line will also be added here. And I don't know why exactly that is, but I bet that is based or is caused by them using this this dual character thing and thinking about it wrong in some certain situation, which then has this effect. In other words, it's an easy fix. So if the room is not supposed to be filled, then I want to write to the vent that its mode shall be 0, so it sucks from the pipe outside to the outside atmosphere to Vulcan, and it should only actually do something when this register is 1. What does the register say? It says if the pressure input of the filtration unit is greater than 0, then we will have a 1 here. So in other words, it sucks the pipe dry when it's no longer required to have any pressure. This is not necessary, but I like to keep things tidy. So in the opposite direction, we are having mode 1. I will now run this code because it should be harmless, and then it will tell me what's happening? Did it just get warmer? Yeah, there's also lots of pressure still in there. Well, simple fix. I wanted to do this anyway. I will just set the threshold temperature to 10 degrees. So in other words, anything above 10 is too hot. So if I turn this on, we should see the vent being active. And then it turning off. Okay, because there's no more pressure in here. And this guy is not pumping, it's just on. So that works. Now we need to turn this guy on to produce some pressure. But only when the room pressure is not too high. I think I should solve this up here. Load batch named the pressure. Branch if branch if greater than 100 kilopascals, or let's say 80, then it should branch down to... I could branch relative, by the way, and just jump over 1, 2, 3 lines and just jump here, but why not use this opportunity to have a label here that expresses what's happening, a label that would otherwise be unnecessary. That's a nice bonus, I think. So, if the pressure measured from the gas sensor is greater than 80 kilopascals, we will jump here. We turn off the filtration's activity, and we see if we have to evacuate the pipe, and then we do that. So if that's not the case, then we're loading the temperature. If the temperature is less than 10 degrees, we fill the room. So I don't have to care about the pressure here. So I can just go and do this. Basically the same thing, only I have to choose a value that I want to pressurize the pipe to. So if the pressure on the input side of the filtration unit is less then this will become 1, and then we will turn the vent on to suck from the planet. And the pressure that I set is 40 megapascals. so the filtration unit will really have some reserves. Though I think that me sucking from the planet will not be actually that fast. I should use basically a large powered vent out there. That's an option. But alright, and let's set a different threshold temperature. Let's go for 25 degrees actually. Go. Aha. So things are active. Is filling up. Okay, so I don't need a bigger vent out there? Huh? What? Ah, alright, it's turned off. Okay, that makes sense. So this thing, we just saw a full cycle. Turning on, turning off. A bit superfluous. Maybe it should move the gas sensor further over, so, you know. But now the room will be filled slowly with more and more gas from the planet, and it will only be CO2, and we will not exceed a temperature of 25 degrees, at least not due to that. Maybe there could be another reason for that, but this will not cause that. Ah, look at that. Station battery is being filled. Nice. So, what's the next action? We need the greenhouse. Need to pump gas over there, so we need to complete the airlock. Not a good thing to build there during the day, huh? But, Right. So the O2 station that I made here is pretty stupid in the current form. I need to improve it at some point. Why is it this slow? Because I set a target pressure in here. You know what? Let's be luxurious. O2 station, import. And set a target pressure inside the system. Buffer some gas, not of 5 megapascals, but of 40 megapascals. Dude? Do I not speak the right language or what? Man, I hate this song. It's just... I don't know why. It grinds my gears. And why do I say song when it's not a song? I don't know. Is this a song? Why is the pressure not increasing here? Because I'm using it up with my activities, or what's the reason? Yeah, it's increasing very slowly. So the reason here is a different one. Maybe I should actually, instead of turning it on and off the whole time, use the correct logic. O2 station. I mean, I can just use the built-in pressure regulator. Input pipe. So load the pressure on the input pipe is greater than 40,000. Then we suck stuff out. But if it's less than 5,000, then the pressure is too low. But if neither is the case, then the pressure is fine. Okay, that's stupid. What I should do instead is try to keep a pressure of 40 megapascals, or 30 maybe. We always have mode 0? No, mode 1. Okay, let's just eliminate all that crap here. And just set a pressure internal target of 19 megapascals, or maybe 35 megapascals.
Hunger critical.
The pressure in here is increasing very slowly because the mixture here is 99% CO2. We don't have any oxygen, really, that we can put into that. So that's a dire problem. I need to produce oxygen. For that I need CO2. The CO2 will come from here because this is the place where I have cooling. One cooling thing to rule them all, huh? For now. Yeah, later I'm probably gonna have some other things too. Okay, I need to pump that room empty. Once that is empty, I can actually work over there even during the day, because, well, then it won't have any temperature. Or maybe it will have some kind of ambient temperature that I won't really care about. So, pumping that empty is priority 1. Despite all this creative crap, it's still kind of a survival playthrough. Kind of. But I know, I mean, if I would die in a non-survival playthrough, I would just, you know, reload or something. So that doesn't make this one much different. In regards to, well, there's not gonna be consequences anyway. I could of course do some hardman playthroughs at some point. But, I mean, there would not be much different, I guess. Okay, this goes here. Now we need power over here. I could use an RTG, but that's ugly. That's the aspect that I'm not sure. I mean, so far I have abstained from using RTGs here. And I should actually, yeah, not use RTGs. RTGs are for playing around. This is a playthrough. So I need power over here. Thankfully I have a large power bank over there, which I could then pipe over here. Copy. Meanwhile the waste canister fills quickly. Yeah, factory approach. How simple is one iteration though? I mean, was that simple enough? I think it was simple enough. So that's why I didn't split that, I guess. I don't know, I wanted to try something out. Let's surround this thing. Let's see what the difference would be. Yeah, it does feel a bit more fluent to do it like... Come on. To do it like this.
Waste tank caution. Waste tank critical. Temperature high. Temperature critical. Oxygen critical. Temperature high.
That looks so odd, doesn't it? Why is it so bright down there? I mean, the green stuff I get, of course, but shouldn't the planet look a bit different there? Huh. Well, I guess that's what the ore looks like. Never noticed. Have to refuel my oxygen. But, can I build some of this airlock maybe already? Or some power cable maybe? Transformer, I think a small one should be sufficient for this.
Commercial-free internet radio. Thanks for listening, telling your friends about Soma FM, and help making us one of the most listened to
Well, I'm telling everybody.
radio stations in the world.
Who watches.
Soma FM t-shirt, you can show the world that you support Soma FM with just a $50 donation. Go to somafm.com and click support.
You're tuned to Groove Salad, and I'm Big Earl, the AI, with the MP3.
Groove Armada. Let's see how lenient they are about copyright.
Air tank low.
Yeah, very low.
Waste tank caution.
Yeah, all of these things are happening. I am there.
Air tank critical.
Yep. Still a survivor. Room pressure, 10 kilopascals. It's just not increasing, is it? Oh, I need to eat.
Low pressure. Hunger caution.
Lol. Huh. Well, I need to cable things up. No way around it. Oh, that's cool. Damn, too late. Oh no, we're not done yet. Yeah, these things only show some green light once there's some load on them. Which is a bit weird in my opinion. I hope they overhaul and unify this whole crap. Okay, then I want some indication that things are working, so I'll just put a light here. Not a grow light, a simple one. Alright. Is the entire room lit up? No. A cable then. So now let's continue the airlock.
Waste tank caution.
Again. Oh.
Waste tank critical. Temperature high.
With a temperature of 100 degrees in my
Temperature
suit,
high.
there should be some screen effects and something. Well, I made a video about this, in case you haven't seen it. It's a short one, very short, like 4 minutes, 3 minutes maybe, that I called Stationeers Primex, Primex. It's just an artificial word meaning primary experience, and that is also kind of just, I don't know, just I had to find a term for that, where I am complaining about the absence of such implementations in Stationeers. I mean, or complaining as in I want it different, and I made some suggestions because I have a nice video editor, and so I use that to try to demonstrate what it could look like when you have screen effects when it's very hot and very cold and such. Did I just use normal parts for this one? Maybe that's even good enough because I have an outer wall, but so if you want to see what that could look like, basically I just want to, I mean, of course I want to promote some video that I made, but not, hey, I want money. I'm never gonna monetize this channel. I cannot solemnly swear that. I can just tell you that it's my firm intention, which should be good enough. So I'm well, because I mean, why did I make the video? Because I have an interest in the topic, and also because of creative. I mean, I created that. Watch it. That's what I'm talking about right now. I mean, do what you want, but just saying it exists. Okay. Okay, now we need a power controller.
Waste tank caution.
Again? Oh shit, man. And the lights, shouldn't they be reversed? Red as in I can walk through currently, and green as in it's currently busy, so you cannot use the airlock, or be careful, don't walk through. I mean, it should be vice versa, right? I mean, it should be reversed. This should be green because it's now operatable. It should be red when it's like, don't walk through, the door is moving, and stuff like that. Pressure, still 9 kilopascals. We're not getting anywhere. It's only very slowly happening. Yeah, I guess during the day, the sun coming in through the glass windows on Vulcan, ridiculous, but it's beautiful, man. This is like the most visually most beautiful world. So glass windows it is. I did some Stationeer difficulty, standard Stationeer difficulty, you know, not easy, not normal, but Stationeer. Survival playthroughs, at least 2, and on video and. Well, I was only using glass windows the whole time, but iron windows at first. Okay, so we have some gas. Maybe I want to swap out my filters. I haven't yet come up with some kind of economy idea for how to do this. Could of course install eternal filters, because in Creative you have those. Filters that never run out, the catalytic filters, which you cannot get in survival. But my goal is not to delete all aspects of the simulation and then, behold, I have nothing to do. No, I want to have shit to do. But I want to do those easily and maybe a bit more designish. So, I mean, look at this crap. Airlock. Area power controller. What's that? Right, that will be the CO2 inlet. Okay, we'll suck that from here. That would be very slow. But okay. And the APC, where does that go? Really? I'm just hopeless. God, fuck damn it, what am I doing? This doesn't work. All right. Let me guess. Nope. There's a cable there. No way for me to store the disk. Awesome. Awesome Bin Laden. God damn it. What the fuck? What did I just say there? That's of course not intentional. Let's just delete that entire thing and do it again. It's getting tired. Dude, I have to do it. You just have to skip the video parts.
Waste tank critical.
Uh-oh.
Temperature high.
Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh
Temperature
fuck.
critical. Temperature high.
Goodbye, oxygen. Okay, now my lungs are damaged. Fuck, 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 fuck. And all that because my stupid aero design is so stupid. Okay, that's that. Now we have to configure it, and of course this guy needs to be turned on to suck from the room. Set inward, so it sucks from the room. Then we have to do this. And I will close the door. The what now? Why doesn't it have power? Don't tell me. Set the input side. Can't see it. No, that's the output side. What's happening? Why doesn't this have power? Because there's no chip in there. Because you can only put a chip in this many times. Great, and how do I do this now? Why does it not suggest the one direction that makes sense? God damn it. The auto-rotate is definitely nice, but also definitely not yet done. That's the locked one, but it's the wrong one. That is correct. Okay. That was correct. So what's the atmosphere in here? Null. There's nothing. Am I already done evacuating this room? Wow. Wow. these guys are really fucking fast. We already have the vacuum. And look, my oxygen is ticking down very slowly. Awesome. Osama bin Laden. It's hilarious that it works out like that. Because he wasn't awesome. I mean, when it comes to movie villains, yes, he was awesome, but he was a villain, just like Hitler was an awesome villain. Okay, to make that clear. In case there's some soundbite gathering kind of asshole out there, though you can't help against those at all. Only thing that helps against those guys is karma. So let's do that then. So let's turn this off and see what happens if I pump something here. 25 degrees. We're getting some... There's some volatiles in there, motherfucker! I just saw some volatiles. But ratio-wise, it is currently too low, I guess, or whatever. Okay, I mean, okay, it doesn't matter. It's so little, it doesn't matter simulation-wise. All right. So we could pump some CO2 in here now, which I don't intend to do because the other station first needs to, you know, be filled, the other part. And I need to build some oxygen reserves, and basically my O2. I have to wait. The pumping to this place should only pump anything but oxygen. I need a filtration unit over there that does that. Otherwise I need a passive vent here. Huh. Passive vent and a filtration unit that pumps anything but oxygen to this place. Anything but oxygen? Nah, only CO2 and nitrogen, that makes more sense. In case there's some volatile pollution over there. Boy, this is off-putting. Let's go back. I guess I have to swallow the pill, huh? Oh, it's night. Pressure. Oh, 22? No. But certainly this guy should not do more than it normally does, because the outdoor temperature is much lower. So it takes much more time to heat up the interior here to 25, when it would then shut off. Okay then.
Low pressure.
Yeah, I would have to have a survival room that is entirely oxygen, but now I have this filtration unit here. It's just the usual assortment of crap. Because I wanted to make a cryo tube now, which wouldn't help me, of course, because the room atmosphere is insufficient. I would basically die in there. But anyway, we're getting some oxygen. Wait, 21 degrees it's here. I guess I'm going to increase the threshold temperature to 30. Maybe it should be different during day and during night, huh? Can't see shit. Fill room filtration. Hey, can I not select this? What's happening? Alright, when I'm holding this I cannot. Stupid! Import. A filtration unit that pumps over only you know what. Of course I made an AC. Doesn't have to be insulated, does it? Huh, in this case though it should be. Of course I can always just make insulated, but it's also kinda lame. So the waste gas goes here, and the input pipe... Oh.
Air tank low.
Will be this one. Overkill. Oh, I can't copy that, that's funny. I need to make sure that it pumps that only if the room temperature is low enough. 30 degrees is not
Air tank critical.
all that okay. Will it not consume 100 watts constantly? God damn it. Nothing in there. And here, well... How much pressure is in there? 2 megapascals? None. Okay. Now on to the next dude. Greenhouse gas, lol. Also, to keep the temperature over there under control, I could just use this room by using heat exchangers. Passive heat exchanging.
Tell me, just what is it that you want to do?
Target side. What the fuck kind of crap track is that? Behold, for I can play an obnoxious loop. I'm not that stoned today, okay? Or ever. Not speaking out against those guys, not at all. This was a matter of music choice. Okay, so what do I need for the greenhouse gas filtration thing? Do I need the pressure regulator? Nope. The volume pump? Nope. The active vent? Yes. And it has a different name. Gas tank storage? Nope. Gas canister smart? Nope. Pipe analyzer? No. Logic switch? Nope. So, load the pressure on the input side of the filtration unit for the greenhouse CO2 and nitrogen filling. If it's greater than 40,000, then the pressure input is too high, and we evacuate that. Right, that's not O2 station, but then we evacuate that. Otherwise, we say mode 1, suck from the room, set a max internal pressure of 35 megapascals, and turn it on. Which means that it consumes that the whole time. That's 100 watts. I don't like that, man. That solution is crappy. But now I have a bigger pipe volume, so there would be more leniency. So I can use the original approach. So let's try that.
Hydration critical.
If the pressure is... Thank you. If the pressure is less than 20,000, too low. And if neither is the case, I just want to turn that thing off. Pressure input done. So again, loading pressure input. If it's greater than 40 megapascals, go down here to high. Less than 20,000, too low. Otherwise, just turn the dude off and switch the direction to pump into the room. If the pressure is too low, we want to suck into the thing and turn it on. Else, we want to pump out of the pipe and turn it on. If neither is the case, just turn it off. Okay, now the target pressure. Well, that's not something that we have. Not this complicated, at least. As the pressure in the last part of the O2 station pipe. The canister holder pipe needs to be evacuated. We don't have that here at all. Buffer some gas, that's kind of what it is. Load the pressure on the output side. And then when the pressure is less than 4 megapascals, that would be too high for the greenhouse. Let's go for like 70 kilopascals. If the pressure is less than 70, this will be 1, and so the mode will be 1 as an active. That should be the greenhouse filling thing. Hypothetically. Nothing's happening. Is it not cabled up or something? Of course, I haven't yet turned it on. Pollutant.
Power low.
Well, it's basically of no relevance because it comes back out here. Maybe it shouldn't come back out here exactly, but okay, let's do some magic here then also. Insulated passive vent. Do I have one? No, I don't. Crap. Then don't put it that far away, whatever. No! What's happening? Oh, right, the measurement is here. And it turned off. Good. So it should now be sucking gas from the room, and it is. Room pressure is nosediving. And all of that just because we have so little, or because the cooling is so weak. Of course, I could add another such battery into the mix, so we'd be using like 9 kilowatts just to keep the room cool. A second complete setup like this. How hot are these pipes, by the way? Okay, very cold. Very cool. Well, the atmospherics are taking place. Batteries are very much charged. Good. I should eat and drink something.
Pressure critical. Oxygen critical. Pressure critical. Oxygen critical.
How is there still crap in here, man? Should turn this guy on also. Now we get that. Oh no, we don't get that. Over there we have this, but this explicitly filtering gas thing. So, thermal energy exchange. Let's ensure that. $35°, that's pretty hot, man. Annoying. $20 kilopascals already. Why? How did this happen? I am gonna not connect the heat exchanger for now.
Waste tank caution.
Wait, what am I doing? If I... Oh, why do I have a heat exchanger? It doesn't make sense, man. I have to just have an opening here. God damn it. So that brings in CO2 and that exchanges thermal energy. This should now slowly cool down the room, I think. Well, the location where this guy is might be burdened by the heat of the CO2 supply from the planet still, but in a few years it should have equalized, and then that should no longer be a problem. So we're having 20 kilopascals in here. That's not enough to run plants. Let's make it stylish. How many is this? I think they need 100 watts, right? Seriously? $70 watts, okay. That's not gonna be fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. 12 times 7 is 84. Yep. 84. 840 watts. 840. Let's see, is that correct? 70 times 10 is, of course, 700. And then 840. Yeah, 840 watts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 8, 56. That's more than 5,000 watts. So if I would indeed, well, the goal is to produce oxygen. If I would is not the question. I will. I will have to. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 7 is 28. I don't need that many actually. This will work. Brilliant. That would be spooky to come into this room and all the lights will be on. Can I turn this off? Unfathomable. Waste tank is a bit full, okay. Why did no one warn me? Before I repeat this now 100 times to be annoyed 100,000 times, let's just continue with this one side here. And we need hydroponics tray or hydroponics... I don't know, let's just make one, see what happens. I will just make trays. Supposedly the robot arms can detect what's going on underneath them, because they have a virtual slot, which is the slot of the thing that they're pointing at. So I don't need the hydroponic device then to find out what the state of the plant is. I think it's the first time that I'm doing this. I mean, the last time I did this, we had the Harvey, but not the new robot arms. It's a bit wasteful, huh? But then again, I can just have some plants for oxygen production. And some plants are just for, some plants will also be used for harvesting. I will have a constant oxygen production even if everything is harvested. But I cannot harvest everything anyway because there's no room for all the robot arms. And this, I guess I will leave this open. And here, similar-ish. That would have been about 20 mining runs already because of all the iron that you need for this. That works too, uh-huh. Just to give an impression. -36 degrees. Well, the temperature should equalize through this, slowly though, but then again, why would I ever worry about that? This is of course super risky, This house should have its own gas supply, its own cooling system, but first I need to get the show on the road. First it needs to be working at all. For it to be working at all, we need some water supply also. I guess I will reserve some part of the room for such infrastructure stuff. Or should I just put that over here? Also possible. Let's use liquid pipes. There's also even the low volume liquid pipe, but I don't think the simulation works. I think I tried them at some point in creative and I don't think they worked. Well, normally I would land with water. You can't survive without a water supply. How would you make water on Vulcan, if not with plants? Because you need O2 for that first. Of course, we could devise a starter configuration that has basically infinite water, or a huge amount of water, or a huge amount of oxygen. More interesting. Aha, 45 liters? Are you shitting me? Okay, should be enough for the purposes, I guess. And how much remains? Oh, 2 liters. Everything was sucked into these pods. Or into the pipe network. It's weird how these things work. I wonder if I would remove them one by one, would this thing fill up again? Oh, what the fuck? The battery is empty. Can swap them with a tool. Yeah, let's find out if that is the case. I just want to know. I mean, I just saved, I can reload, so we learned something. Again, what's the liters in here? Can we see that here? 2 liters of water. Any discernible difference? 3 liters. Okay, let's keep going for a bit. Damn. Maybe I should look with the tablet. 2.89 liters of water. .16 liters of water. So apparently it works as intended. Nothing's really lost. 2 liters. Yep. All is well. So, 36 degrees, bit hot for the plant situation here, I must say. Maybe I should lower the target temperature in the station. That could help. Of course, that should help. At least we have a pressure of 23 kilopascals already. That's not bad. Oh, the fucking sun. Asshole. Black hole, sun. Won't you fucking stay away? Step 1. Temperature 33. And over here we have what? Did you just say minus 66? What's happening? What? Do you see that? 12, 3, 13, 26, 21, 11, 3. What? I guess it's at target temperature and doesn't really know what it's supposed to do. And now? What happens now? Minus 50 degrees? What's happening? 66, 90. Hopefully, main thing is the pressure in these pipes needs to be high. I don't know how high. I'm not an expert on these guys who can just kind of use them. But 2 megapascals or maybe 4 megapascals is fine. But if it's, for example, too low, like 500 like let's say 20 kilopascals, super low, then there's just no thermal mass, thermal mass for the devices to work with. And that makes it very unstable. One of the outlets has to be in a different place. Oh, that might well be the case. It's sucking in here, 40-ish degrees, and here. Yeah, I guess it's going a bit crazy because it's kind of looking at itself. Well, okay, let's redecorate things a bit. No, really not. Yes. That's where the overpressure goes. And now we need something where the gas goes. Copy. What? I didn't think this through, did I? Can you believe this newest negative review by yet another noob? This guy is complaining, was a very lengthy review, English, and he actually allowed comments, which is laudable. Or just forgot to turn them off, it's also possible, but let's go with the positive perspective. And was complaining basically that there's no minimal survival simple stuff that you can do, like there would be magically some water or magically something to eat or to drink or to breathe in case shit goes down, because he was playing in, with another guy, and then things exploded, and then they had basically no means to survive, or they had to do so many things so that they get some water and all of that again. And to that I can only say, dude, what do you think an astronaut would have to do in that situation? How complex is reality? And this is finally a game that gets you a bit in that direction, only a bit, because this is still just an effort. It's not that already, okay? But, okay. And, basically that guy, that's a casual, you know? Supposedly has played, Space Engineers, which is not such a casual game, but in comparison to, I mean, so when it comes to survival and the complexity, the interdependency of the system, I think Stationeers is on a higher level. And so what's going on now with the temperature here? 40 degrees, okay.
Jetpack low.
And down here, why is it 40 degrees even? Why is the room so warm? Well, I guess that the cooling system cannot keep up with the heat that I'm pumping in. But why is this still on then? Oh, it's not. Then I guess I'll just have to give it time. But like I thought or said, I don't remember, maybe during the day I have to set a different target temperature for the pumping in kind of thing. How can I make that happen? How can I control that? Well, just with a daylight sensor then. I have a daylight sensor right here. Does it have a name? Possibly not. It doesn't, and it doesn't need to. So whenever the sun is coming up, the target temperature needs to be a different one. Heh. Why is it showing errors? Oh, that's just... okay, there's some wrong color thing going on here. Fill room, filtration, import. So the target temperature, the threshold temperature. Alias... selects into thresh temp based on R0 a value of 30 or a value of 20 or 15 even. Yeah, 15. Yeah, I set that thing to 10. Yeah, let's do that. I have to use thresh temp down here. So that's fine. Now I have to find out what the threshold temperature is. Load batch into R0 from hash structure daylight sensor, the vertical coordinate, and write into R0 based upon R0 whether it is greater than or what. If it's greater than, if R0 is greater than 90, then we're below the horizon, because midnight is 180-ish and noon is 0-ish. So if it's greater than 90, so then we are then it's night. And then that's 1. So if R0 is 1, we use the high temperature. And during the day we use the low temperature. Should work, I guess. Bit reckless to do it like this, but that's the filtration. Wait, I think the air is purified enough now. Yeah, sometimes there might be some pollutant and such in here from my spacesuit. I have the feeling sometimes that if a suit is damaged like this, it will actually leak some gas. So you might end up with some Vulcan atmosphere in your spacesuit. Then you go in here, you're still leaking, now you're transporting that inside. I don't know if that's the case, but I think so. Might be the case.
Power low.
Man, the pressure's low in here. Well, we're pumping the O2 in here. Oh, we reached 4 megapascals. That's laudable, I guess. Why is it so slow? Because I'm not at 20 megapascals, which would make that easy. But it's something much lower. Power supply. 16 kilowatts. Well, we achieved quite a few things here. The greenhouse is almost ready for use. Almost, but not quite. Room temperature is 24. How did that happen? I'm not sure. But let's see if my programming had any influence. I don't think so. I'd rather think that the AC system had to first like fade over, because it's a very dynamic system. So you have 200 degrees, okay. Now with a room temperature of what? A room temperature of 359 degrees. No. 47 degrees. Pretty high. Pretty fucking high. Actually, ugly high, not pretty high. So if it's greater than 90, then we have the high temperature. Now it's no longer hot here, so that selection thing seems to work. Nice. "48 degrees. Man, that must not happen. Why was it so cool just a few minutes ago? I mean, I know I changed the programming, then I waited like 3 minutes, but it seems to cool down very, very slowly. Why is it so low already? Why was it so low? I don't know. The heat exchanger, though, is not doing us any favors. The greenhouse is being heated up. Wish I could see this with more decimal places. But alright. Sometimes I think we should just have some kind of view that's like glued to the corner of the screen. Maybe that could be an upgrade that we get or something, that we could always see, no matter where we point at, what the temperature is and so forth and so on, including also the room temperature next to it. Room and what you point at. Room and what you point at. Because, I mean, we are in this environment and all the things matter, but you can only sample it here and there instead of getting a constant impression. And this constant impression might actually give you a more dense immersion feeling. You might get the more immersed impression of the temperature or gas composition instead of having to remember that every once in a while. Losing touch and such. Losing touch and such. Now it is recorded. I need to delete this video, man. Well, I think I'm kinda out of fuel for now, so I'm gonna stop this video. See you again next time. Come on. Parallel lines to the screen borders.